The Mahdi arrival in 2023. I talked about this phenomena that you can see right behind me when you see different kind of things happening, especially in the horizon. That will be a sign of Qiyamah, sign of something supernatural to take place. And I mentioned one particular incident in the past in this video. Then I also talked about this particular video on this topic, how these two countries, they're neck to neck to kind of like get rid of one another. And I mentioned to you why that would be happening before the end of time. And I mentioned one particular place that the Yahudi, the Jew, they consider to be a place that is going to be the epitome of the coming of the Messiah, the epitome of the end of time battle. And I said Iran is that place. There is a place called Isfahan where the Dajjal will emerge according to the hadith. At the same time, the Yahudi, they believe that Ilham is a place that is mentioned in the book of Daniel's, where the Jew, the Yahudi, will be fighting the Antichrist. And that place, Ilham, is in Iran. So I mentioned that too as a sign of the coming of the Mahdi, the coming of the end of time. So today we'll talk about the Mahdi again, because this channel is all about the coming of the Mahdi, as by some Muslims known, they know him as Imam Mahdi. And I would actually talk to you about one hadith, then I will explain this new sign from the hadith, what we have seen in Saudi Arabia recently. So basically the hadith goes like this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Umranu Baitul Maqdis Kharabu Yathrib. That with the flourishing of Baitul Maqdis, means Jerusalem, Medina will become corrupt. And with that, wa kharabu Yathrib khurujul malhama. When Medina will become corrupt, then we will have malhama, means the fierce battle will take place. And then he said, wal khurujul malhama fathu Qustantiniyati. With the malhama, when this will emerge, then the Muslims will conquer the place called Qustantiniyati, today what we know as Istanbul in Turkey. وفتح القسطنطينية خروج الدجال. And with the conquest of Istanbul will come خروج الدجال, the Dajjal, the Antichrist, will emerge. So this is a sequence of events. The first thing before the Dajjal comes, according to the hadith, and this hadith we can take it literally, wallahi, because we see this hadith being manifested every single day. So this will start, the hadith starts with Medina and then it ends with the Dajjal. Medina and then Dajjal. So beginning Medina, end of the hadith is with Dajjal. This is a Hasan hadith reported in Abu Dawud. Muad ibn Jabal radiallahu anh, he narrated this hadith. So this is a Hasan hadith. This is not fabricated. This is not a Da'if hadith. This is a Hasan hadith. Okay, it's a very, very sound hadith. We can take it. What we find out from the hadith, the first thing that will happen before the coming of Dajjal, the Mahdi that we talk about, is that Medina will become kharab, means it will be corrupted. What Saudi Arabia is doing right now is following exactly that hadith. How so? This is what I want to talk to you about. If you take a look at the screen here, you can clearly see, I'm just gonna actually open my pen so that I can pinpoint exactly what I want to discuss today. This one, okay, Saudi Arabia developed Medina. They are planning to develop Medina into a modern Islamic and cultural destination, end quotes. Well, there is nothing wrong with that, but there is one thing very, very wrong, and that is that they want to fulfill their vision for Saudi Arabia 2030. If you remember, MBS has a vision 2030. This development of Medina is part of that vision. Means it's, at the end of the day, it's really all about developing Saudi Arabia. It is not about Medina. It is not about Mecca. Yes, in the process, they will try to do something about Medina and to make it a quote unquote modern and Islamic and cultural destination, whatever they want to do. However, the end goal is really to fulfill that vision. Would they bring in music? Would they bring in some modern day cultural events? Would they bring in Western celebrities to sing and dance, Hollywood, Bollywood stars in Medina? That is something we'll find out in the future. But looking at what they have been doing, I think it is very safe to say that at one point Saudi Arabia might bring those celebrities in Medina for cultural reasons, and that would include all kind of fahsha and immorality. When I talked about the hadith, Umran Baytul Maqdis, this is what I meant. And this is what the hadith, the prophecy is, that Medina will become corrupt with all of the modern cultural thing, liberalism, and its effect on Medina. Because remember, when you try to develop a city, you have to open it up to the rest of the world. When you open the gate, the door of all kind of liberalism to enter into a city, it definitely is going to enter. You cannot stop it, regardless of it is Medina or Mecca. If you pave the path for all of this cultural advancement, all these ideologies, LGBTQ, atheism, to enter into a city, that corruption will be felt in that city, regardless of how sacred that place is. Of course, we know Dajjal will not be able to enter Makkah, Medina, but that is a completely different thing. If you want to protect these cities, wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, we need to act right now to stop any kind of advancement of these ideologies, Western liberal feminist ideologies, to enter into Medina. But looking at the picture and looking at what Saudi Arabia is doing with the Vision 2030, unfortunately, we have to say that we are helping, wallahi, we are helping this fitan to enter into the city of Medina every single day. I have here a comment here, Disha, who is our leader? Then Disha Chatterjee, which country we should follow? There is no leader except Erdogan. Imran Taleb, okay, alaikum salam. Which country, which leader you should follow? The simple answer to that question is you do not really have to find a leader in the world to follow. You have to find somebody from your community to follow. Follow somebody who is sticking to the Ahl Sunnah wa Jama'ah, somebody who is following the Quran and Sunnah, regardless of what people are saying about him. If people are mocking, insulting, throwing him in the jail, doesn't matter. If you see in him Quran and Sunnah, follow him in your local community. If you mix with the Muslims, you will find one, inshallah. I can promise you. In every community, there is one, at least one righteous man. Follow that person. You do not necessarily have to think about the whole world, because that is something that Allah will bless the Ummah with. And that is when He will send Imam Mahdi. Right now, we do not have Imam Mahdi with us simply because Allah doesn't want that to happen right now. If He wants that to happen, it is His will. So we cannot say, oh, we are waiting for a leader for the entire Muslim Ummah and it was not sent to us. We cannot complain, we cannot whine about it. Okay? Because we have, perhaps as I said, a righteous leader, a salihin in our own community, living next door even sometimes. But we are so obsessed with leader from the world that we don't even notice him next door. So may Allah protect and guide us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.